Hello, welcome to Reely Rated, the movie review podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Stevens.
And I'm your co-host, Jess Andrews.
And today we were talking about the Ti West horror film, X.
I have a question.
Yeah?
Well, not so much a question, more a statement. I don't know who Ti West is, and I feel like I have a huge gap in my knowledge. Because like on the posters and everything, it's all like filmed by Ti West, written and directed by Ti West, like it's meant to mean something.
No. I think they did that to make it seem like he's a big somebody, but to be fair, I think X was his big film.
Okay, cool.
Because he did The Innkeepers before this.
Never seen it. Is that good?
I haven't seen it, but and also I think it was something to do The Devil Comes Home, I think it's called. Let me have a look.
House of the Devil.
Yeah. So I think this is probably his big film.
Okay, cool. Well, it's a good one. It's a good first one to have, or breakout one to have.
Yeah. Before we start, I want to go back to last month because we were talking about like what's better, Midsommar or Hereditary, and I remember I said I was going to go watch Hereditary back.
And?
I still think Midsommar's better, but there's a lot more sort of because I'm not easily scared, but I am very easily unnerved.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of unnerviness in Hereditary, like moments of where I'm just like, oh, what's going to happen?
Yes. Like the acting is weird and stuff. Like unsettling. Yeah, I see what you mean. I get you.
Yeah.
Well, they're just different, they're different, aren't they? But I don't know. Maybe it's because I've seen Hereditary too many times.
I think that might be it.
Desensitized. I'm a hard bitch.
No, but I still think Midsommar's better. I think it's like a better film overall. But I think Hereditary is like a lot more unnervingness.
I think Hereditary is more classic horror. You know, in the dark and ghost and spooky and haunted house and blah, blah, blah. Well, not haunted, but you know what I mean. Like, you know, shapes in the dark. And it's all quite kind of what we're used to as horror. But I think what I like about Midsommar is that it's scary, but it's in like the bright daylight and like pastel colours.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's good that you went and rewatched it though. Got some perspective.
Yeah. So like, if you liked our little side route,
Side quest.
You go watch last month's podcast. Watch it? No, go listen. But you can watch it on YouTube, which I haven't plugged before.
Don't worry, you don't have to look at us.
Yeah. All right then. Right, let's jump into X. So, Jess, before we start, I wanted to ask whether or not because this is a totally new term to me. Have you heard psycho biddy horror before?
I know what a biddy is, but no. And I'm just racking my brain a second, trying to think of other horror films that have. I understand that it kind of obviously focuses on old people as the horrific villains.
Yeah.
But I am struggling to think of an example. I suppose Texas Chainsaw in a way, like the dad, sort of a scary old, and they got like the grandma and the granddad and like that, I guess. But otherwise, I'm struggling to think of examples. I'm sure there are a lot, but it's just very, very hot, and my brain is not working today. So, but yeah, psycho biddy horror. That's hilarious. I call my mum a biddy sometimes, just affectionately.
She's gonna kill you now.
She is.
But yeah, the term is also known as Grand Dame Gouno. Gouno?
Okay.
And hagsploitation.
I love that. Hagsploitation. You hag.
I took a sort of sidetrack on Wikipedia because the term came up and I was like, what the hell does that mean? And the term was first coined when in 1960 when Whatever Happened to Baby Jane was released.
Oh yeah. With
Davis.
Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And genre was conventionally The genre conventionally features a former glamorous older woman who has become mentally unbalanced and terrorizes those around her.
Oh, poor her.
And I was thinking in terms of X, like, you know, because Pearl murders those around her in payback for their beauty and the revulsion they have towards her.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite, to be fair, it is kind of almost fairy tale-like, isn't it? Because it's always, you know, the old hag or the old witch stereotype. So I kind of, it's not that new. I think that in a lot of modern horror films, it tends to be sort of like either a ghostly, manly, you know, like a buff, strong person like Michael Myers or even Freddy Krueger, where, you know, he's agile, you know,
Yeah,
and can pop up at you. Whereas this is the interesting thing about this is that we could disagree, I suppose, on whether or not they're scary, but they are not the sort of people you would typically be afraid of. It's interesting because I think everyone fears aging itself, and a lot of people feel, rightly or wrongly, a kind of revulsion around aging, but it's not really scary. Like when you see an old lady, generally you're not scared of her, are you?
no.
Nobody's like, oh yeah, my idea of a worst nightmare is an old people's home. I'm terrified of the old people. You know, that's not really a common phobia.
Yeah.
But I suppose it is the kind of uncanniness of like, oh, okay, this is someone that I wouldn't expect to go killing. It's kind of the esque of like, you know, Children of the Corn or whatever. It's like, okay, children don't kill people. Old people don't kill people. Ghosts and serial killers do, but not old people, not children. It's that kind of genre. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know the scene when she kills Wayne, or Wade, whatever his name is?
Yeah.
And then, like, you see the outline of her figure and she's sort of, like, shuffling towards him. That really scared me because it was like she was almost, like, hovering. I liked it because it reminded me of, like, Michael Myers and how slowly he moves.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing of it is that most of the people that die in the film are victims of their empathy, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because most of the time they are actually trying to be kind to her, and it's almost like it's the pity she can't stand. You know, like they have good intentions, but that's what makes her angry. She doesn't want to be pitied. She wants to be admired.
She wants to be lusted after.
Yeah, and the kindness is lost on her, and I thought it was quite. Something that I wanted to touch on, which I really love about the film, is that even though, because a lot of the time in films, characters that are like adult, sex workers or adult film stars, whatever you want to call, they are very dehumanized. They're cannon fodder. They're generally nasty people, you know, in characters in films. And even though obviously all of them have their faults and stuff, they are very well, all of the whole ensemble is very, I think, layered. They have their sweet and their nasty parts, and they have their kindnesses and their unkindnesses and their other talents other than their performances. You know, even like Wayne, who's this kind of, you know, he's a bit seedy and he left his wife for a porn star, and he's, you know, making an adult film and blah blah blah. He actually, but I don't really think he's a bad person.
No.
Like, when you kind of see how he interacts with others, he's not, and none of them are they? And conversely, Jenna Ortega's character, Lorraine, she seems very sweet to begin with, but then she has her own, like, kind of negative sides.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was really, really, that's refreshing for me.
Because, like, when you think about the tropes of, like, horror films, especially slashers, like, you know, when women have sex, they often have to be killed for their sins, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then, like, the film uses sex and sexploitation as a narrative tool. We're looking at these sex workers, like, these porn stars, and, like, they're using, like, Ti West is using sex as a way to sort of, like, not break the genre, because, like, they ultimately all die, apart from Maxine. But then Maxine is the final girl, but we'll get into that in a moment. But they all die for their sins, but you're right, because they're layered, you sort of like care for them a lot more than you do the traditional sort of like, you know, sluts.
If you actually look at the actual plot points, every single time that somebody is killed off, they are doing something kind. Like, RJ stops the car to see if Pearl's all right. Wayne is out looking for RJ. Jackson is helping Howard to find Pearl.
Yep.
Bobby Lynn is trying to help Pearl home. So, like, generally, it's really ironic that when they're actually being really sweet and kind, that's their like undoing. And I think that does feed into this kind of narrative point of the pity and the kindness is the thing that like is the catalyst for Pearl's rage.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Maxine or Pearl, so I don't know what other layers there are to her character. I'm just basing all my sort of interpretation on just X. But I think that it's just very interesting because a lot of the time, like you said, generally the teenagers and stuff in horror films get killed when they're, you know, drinking at a party, or they just had sex, or they're being unkind, or they're doing, you know what I mean, or they're trespassing and things like that, you know.
Yeah.
Like you said, like a punishment. But this is almost flipping that on its head, which is really like it's kind of mean spirited, but it's also like really interesting.
And also, if you think about it, these characters are, apart from like Maxine and obviously Lorraine, they're like not young kids. They're not like young teenagers. They're like, you know, they're being portrayed as like sort of like, I'd say like late 20s, early 30s. So like they're breaking the convention of like, you know, teenagers getting, you know, rowdy and getting like, do you know what? It's kind of ironic actually, because I think if they were teenagers, they wouldn't be, like you said, as sympathetic to Pearl. It'd be like, oh, shut up, grandma.
That's true. And like, and that's the kind of interesting thing as well, because you kind of get the feeling that maybe they all wanted something different from their lives at first. And obviously, like I say, I haven't seen the other films, so I don't know. But you know, like Bobby Lynn, like you can kind of infer that she actually probably wanted to be a singer.
Yeah.
And I think that the kind of not bitterness, I don't know what the word is, like the kind of that kind of tinge of like jadedness in the characters of like, okay, they also feel what it's like to feel like their life isn't panning out the way they wanted.
Yeah. But
they've kind of turned their disappointments into something where they want to be successful. Like they're going to be, you know, make an amazing adult film. And I don't know much about the porn industry, but from what from the way they talk, I feel like this was set in a time when porn wasn't very, well, not that it's massively cinematic now, but it wasn't really kind of as common. And the way they talk about like, oh, there's going to be a video boom and stuff like that.
Yeah. So
they've kind of come into the industry at a time when it maybe wasn't so fashionable and it was a bit of a low for them, but time has, you know, the climate they've come into is now saying, oh, actually people want this sort of thing, and they're grabbing it by the horns. And like I guess, and like I say, I don't know anything about Maxine or Pearl, but like it seems to me like there's that thing of resentment in that Pearl feels like she was born in the wrong time, perhaps even. Yeah,
because in Pearl they explore the fact that she wanted to be like one of those famous like on stage, like she wanted to go on tour and become like what do you call it? Maybe it is cabaret, but anyway, yeah, she wanted to go on tour because like she tries to audition for like a dance group, and she gets like rejected. And that was like what she sees as a big break. But Pearl mainly deals with like the fact that you can tell that she's already a little bit cracked and a little bit not there with it. So it adds a bit of kind of psycho to her personality.
It is really interesting though, because I guess you would have a different as an audience, you'd have a different perspective on it considering your age. And we are clearly very young. So we don't understand what it's like for a person who is older to relate to Pearl in the way of, like, not being desired anymore, being invisible, you know, that phase of your life being over. And even from her husband at the time, she's feeling like she just, you know, she's not desired. And especially if you are someone that has put a lot of emphasis in your life on being beautiful and being this creature to be admired on stage or whatever it may be, to lose that part of your identity must be extremely hard. And even though in the scenes where, you know, she's sort of talking to like RJ and sort of being like, you know, why don't you, you know, I can't remember what she says, but she kind of comes on to him, doesn't she? And he's like, what are you doing? Ugh. And she's like, why don't you like me, or whatever. And it's kind of like, it's kind of grotesque, but also kind of funny, but also just like really sad. Because if you try and put yourself in your mind now into the body of a 90-year-old or whatever, it must be horrible to know that people look at you with intrinsic disgust because you're old. You know, that makes sense?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that even, I mean, it's a bit of a reach, but even like at our age, like, you know, like I don't know, you sort of go out and there's people, you know, 18, 19, 20 or 20-year-old type people out in the bars and stuff. And you sort of, you have this dawn, like this realization that, like, oh, they look at me like an old woman.
Yeah.
They don't look at me. Not that I necessarily obviously want to go out with a 20-year-old, good grief. But my point is that my point is that, like, you kind of start to feel, I do anyway, start to feel that kind of dowdy, like that almost like you're past, like, you know, you're past your prime, like you are no longer desirable to people of a certain age.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you apply that to, when you think about how Pearl feels at, you know, in her, how old is she meant to be? 80s? I'm
not sure.
But if you think, okay, that's how she feels with everyone, including her own husband, it is sad. You do, I mean, I wouldn't say go into a murderous rage over it, but you could understand her frustration and her sadness. And I thought that even though, and like the fact that they show the sex scene of like her and Howard, which is really funny when she's under the bed and it's like, ugh. But it's kind of like, oh, I was sort of happy for them.
Yeah, no, because I've seen it before, I fast forwarded this time because I was like, I don't want to, I don't want to see it.
You're proving my point, Mitch.
But when I first watched it, I was like, oh, good for Howard. Like,
I thought he was going to die the first time I watched it, because it's the second time I've seen it as well. But the first time that I watched it, I actually thought he was going to die.
Yeah.
Like, that was going to be the way he died.
Yeah.
But he doesn't, obviously. But I thought that was going to be it.
I think if I was writing it, I think I would have done that because it would have been ironic.
Yeah, one final. Yeah, like her. Maybe the reason they didn't was because they didn't want it to be that, like, oh, you know, having sex with your senile husband is like a bad thing.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
I don't know. Maybe they thought they'd get a bit of pushback or something. But I mean, he was kind of scary in a sort of, not intimidating. What's the word? Where someone makes you feel uneasy. Like, you don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Like, even in the first scene, when he's talking to Wayne about renting the house. And he's just so unnecessarily intimidating and, like, not acting in the sort of way that civil people act with strangers or someone that's renting your house or whatever.
Yeah, I've got a question for you.
And then Wayne... Oh, go on.
Do you think... Is he senile or is he just sort of, like, pretending? Because... it makes me feel like he's playing up to being senile because, like, when you discover, like, when Lorraine discovers the, like, young man tied up in the basement, like, he's obviously done that for Pearl.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure about that plot point, to be honest. I don't. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess he must have done because there's no way she could string. I mean, to be honest with you, that is actually the one time in the film where I went, because I was thinking, if he can't even have sex with his wife because he's afraid he's going to have a heart attack, how on earth did he, string up a guy? Because that would take a huge amount of strength.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure I buy that, to be honest.
Because he was obviously in the basement being used for like Pearl's like plaything.
Ooh. Ew. I mean, that would be you whatever age.
Yeah.
I'm not being ageist. That's just gross.
Because like when he first meets Wayne, he sort of like is kind of acting like, I don't know what you're doing here, get off my property. But then like he's obviously he's obviously prearranged.
And then he's like, oh yeah, you have like you're expecting us. 'Cause he keeps saying to him over and over, doesn't he? We've spoken on the phone.
Yeah.
We've spoken on the phone. So you would think he'd be expecting them. So it's, unless he's just trying to play mind games to make them kind of feel uncomfortable, I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And the fact that he's just like when they go into the cabin or house, whatever you call it, and then Howard's literally just like, I don't like you, Wayne. And Wayne's just like, all right. See you later. And it's like, oh my God, if I just met someone, like imagine going to an Airbnb and the host letting you in and just being like, I mean, aside from the whole gun pointing thing, but the host being like, I don't like you, Mitch. I don't like you at all. You'd be like, oh.
I would leave.
You don't even know me. So would I.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sleeping there. When I open,
I certainly wouldn't be like, making a porn film in a barn where he doesn't know that they're doing it.
I mean, part of me sort of thinks, well, is it really that bad that they're not telling them what they're doing there? Because it's not, I mean, but I don't know, because I suppose our sensibilities as modern people are, oh, it's only porn. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know about you, but I don't find porn that offensive. It's not something that I'm like, oh, how shocking and terrible.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, porn is a thing and, whatever. As long as it's consensual, I really couldn't care. But I guess back then, and especially for old people and stuff, it would be something very frowned upon, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be the same for me as, like, someone saying, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to rent your house out and then, like, make children do drugs in it or something. I'd be like, hell no. But if it was porn, it probably wouldn't bother me that much, if I'm honest.
So, Klaus Reisner, he's a, what do you call it? Academic, that's it, argues that it is not so much girls' sexuality per se, that the fact that they have sex with other boys, meaning that sex is predominantly a masculine trait, a trait that dominates over another. So he's saying it's not so much that the girls have sex, it's the fact that they're taking a predominantly masculine trait, which is sex, that they have to be punished for.
Yeah, but the men die as well.
That's my point. In X, because like Lorraine, Maxine, and Bobby Lynn all sort of have sex, and then they're like producing sex and that, they're not the only ones that are punished. They're the film's sort of like an equal opportunity offender, because like when Wayne's killed, he's in his underwear. Like, that's predominantly something you'd expect to see in, like, Halloween and stuff like that. But, like, it's actually like it's like the female gaze on him. And the fact that he steps on oh my God, when he steps on the bloody...
Oh, the nail.
Oh.
I actually, did that thing, he puts his foot down, you just close your eyes because you can't watch it. You can't look.
But, like, that's kind of like, when the women hurt their ankle in the, sort of old horror films, like...
It makes him defenseless.
Yeah.
Vulnerable.
And then he's sort of then he looks through that hole and then is speared in the face. But yeah, the point I'm trying to make is that X takes the sort of tropes that we sort of expect to see in a film like this, and especially a slasher. It somewhat twists it on its head, but it sort of falls to, like, for instance, with the whole hacksploitation, which I love. basically, in the book Fade to Grey, Aging in American Cinema, they state that the cycle film renders the Asian woman as the core, as the monstrously othered object. And basically, they also say that, like, you'd generally expect to see an older actress play that sort of role, and it's like sort of like her third act sort of thing. But this film takes that away from the opportunity of an actress to play Pearl because it's being played by Mia Goth.
Yeah. Is that... I mean, I read that he wrote the script for Pearl, like, when they were sort of filming this one. So I don't know that it was always, like, intended that she would play Pearl as well. Like, do you know what I mean?
It's just that I find it a little bit, not disingenuous, but, like, in a way, because they put Mia Goth in so much heavy prosthetics and they made the choice to make her look that kind of, like, repulsive.
Well, this is the thing, though. I don't think she is repulsive. The way she acts is repulsive. Like, she's a fucking sexual predator, murderous hag. And... But she does look normal. Like, if you just look at her face, if you imagine her as a smiley old grandma...
Yeah.
She wouldn't be monstrous.
Yeah, I suppose.
That's the thing, isn't it? Is that she... Most people would look a bit... I mean, I look monstrous first thing in the morning when my hair's all, you know, and I'm in my nightgown shuffling around.
I look gorgeous.
No. I
look sun-kissed and rosy-cheeked.
Wow. I can. I mean, I've lived with you, so I don't want to say you're lying.
I look like Sleeping Beauty.
Yes. But, like, I just don't think... I think that it's more to do with you know, I mean, I don't think anybody would look at, you know, their grandma or whoever, or any old lady in the street and go, oh, you are monstrous.
I would...
You know, because...
I wouldn't Drag Me to Hell. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen the whole thing, but I've seen bits, so I know what you're on about.
Yeah, like the haggard old gypsy when she's just attacking her and then she sucks on her chin.
Oh, stop it.
With no teeth.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. Most old ladies don't try and suck your face.
Yeah, I suppose. But a gypsy would.
I'll tell you what, though. The scene where Pearl gets in bed with Maxine.
Yeah.
And she's touching her up and all sorts. That made me feel so... I mean, I'm stating the obvious, but that made me feel so uncomfortable. It was just like, oh... And you know what? I was having a think about it afterwards, like why it repulses me so much. And I don't actually think it's necessarily because it's an old lady. I think it's more just to do with the fact that it's rape.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but, like, I was thinking about the social situation. Like, you know, one doesn't do that.
No. One... When one wakes up sun-kissed and gorgeous, one does not want to sexually assault someone.
No, but, like, what I mean is, beside the whole sort of, like, sexually touching her and stuff, but, like, you wouldn't undress and get into bed with someone you don't know or you've just met. Like, so it was a bit EP creepy for me because I was thinking to myself, oh, you're being socially awkward.
I mean, the thing that's actually very interesting as well, of course, is that with the best will in the world, a lot of people who do reach a certain age, they do act in strange ways. I mean, I've got friends who've worked in nursing homes, and, you know, my own grandparents have been in them, and I have seen behaviour that is, how do I put this, tolerated, because you know that they are so senile and they have dementia and stuff, so they don't know what they're doing. You know, like, so you forgive them being socially unacceptable in various ways because you know they can't help it, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not who they are. It's a product of their age and whatever, it's illness. But I guess because you know that she has bad intent, because the thing is, right, if she was painted as a character who has terrible dementia and, you know, was a nice person and now she's a shell of herself and she's doing all these weird things, you wouldn't be well, you would, but you'd think, oh, this is really sad, you know, she's not herself. Whereas this is, from what I gather, this is Pearl's personality. She is murderous and psycho. So, like, that's an interesting thing, is that, you know, because if an old lady got confused and got into bed with someone and wasn't touching them up and being, you know, murdering their friends and such, then you would probably just be like, oh, Doris, come on, love, let's get you back to your own bed, you know?
Yeah.
But because she's so clearly psychopathic, then, you know, I mean, even, I wonder how it would have been framed if they hadn't done RJ's death. And is Wayne dead by that point? Can't remember.
Yeah.
But yes, he is, because she's got blood all over her hands, isn't she? But if they had that scene before we'd seen her kill 2 people, I do wonder if it would have a slightly different tang to it. That you would sort of think, oh, this poor old lady, she's lost her mind. She doesn't know what she's doing.
Well, Bobby Lynn's reaction to that, sort of like, because basically Maxine gets all creeped out, but Bobby Lynn goes after her.
That's right, and I think, and she is very patient with her up until the point where she's like, "You're a slag, you're a whore."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "No, that's not okay." But she is, you know, she is kind up until that point. So I just think it's a really interesting study. I think it's very interesting how the perspectives on aging and acting, you know, and senescence rather is the word, isn't it? Is really interesting and sad, because you kind of understand her rage. And I'm not saying obviously you should be going around murdering people because you're jealous that they're young and beautiful and you don't feel that way anymore, but you can understand the motivation.
Yeah.
As bad as it is, you know, and I think there are a lot of films like that, you know, where people, I'm trying to think of an example, and my mind's going because it's their hat, but like, you know, where people have been, well, okay, this is probably a really bad example, but it's the first one that came into my mind, the remake of Halloween, which is, I can never really decide if I like it or not, but when you look at the backstory of Michael Myers in that remake, you can kind of see why you would be hateful towards people and have mother issues and all this, because you've been growing up in abuse, you've been abused your whole life, physically, emotionally, you know, you're being beaten up at school, etc., etc., you're an outcast. So I'm not saying, like I say, I'm not obviously condoning any of these behaviours, but you can kind of see where they're coming from. No, I don't mean that way, but you know what I mean, don't you?
No, I know what you mean, because
you can see the reason, you can see the
path,
the genesis of their evil, right?
Yeah.
So I can kind of get it with Pearl, and I thought it was really kind of interesting as well, because I can't think of any other film where you've sort of seen the 2 main villains having like a tender love scene, because sometimes you do see them having, you know, being sexually, you know, affectionate with each other. I'm trying to think, you know, like Joker and Harley Quinn or whoever it may be.
Yeah.
But it's never kind of tender and like vulnerable. It's always like an excessive thing.
Yeah, and
gratuitous.
And I'm a hypocrite, because like if it was like young attractive people that were doing it on the bed with Maxine underneath, I'd be like, yeah, I wouldn't fast forward it.
Oh, you're so ageist.
Yeah, I know, but to be fair, it would add, actually, it would have the same effect of like danger with Maxine being under the bed still, But it wouldn't have the revulsion. It would be, what was it you said? Gratuitous.
Yeah, gratuitous.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, one thing I want to mention while we're talking about murders is that actually, do you not find it interesting how the deaths in this are all very sudden?
Yeah.
Like, you know how normally in slashers, a lot of the time they really draw out the deaths. You know, there's a big chase scene, or there's a slow, horrible, painful death, you know, or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But in this, they're literally just blasted or chucked in with a crocodile and dead within 2 seconds, or, you know, like it's kind of interesting. I suppose RJ is probably the slowest one.
Yeah.
But even his, I mean, he's stabbed in the neck. So realistically, he'd be dead quite soon after he's on the floor. I mean, I love that, don't you? How, like, the headlights go red.
Yeah.
That gave me, like, little fangirly happiness, like, horror girly happiness.
I think the quickness of it is to reflect the fact that because, like, they don't get a chance to fight back, because if they did, then they would be able to overpower them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it has to be quick. Exactly. Yeah. And that's the kind of scary, and that's also something quite scary, because there's one thing where you've got Michael Myers stalking you slowly, which is scary. Like, it's a different kind of scary. It's that kind. It's the dread. It's the slow dread, isn't it? Oh, it's coming. It's coming. It's going to get me. But I think there's actually something very scary about unpredictability. It is very scary to think that 1 minute you're with somebody who's vulnerable and couldn't hurt a fly, and the next they're killing you very quickly. I mean, one of my biggest fears, and I know this sounds ridiculous, but I don't. It's because it's a bit random. But there's a few years ago there was a story in the news of a guy who I think he had all sorts of kind of problems, but he was on top of a museum viewing station in a city. And they were looking over the edge of this, like, platform thing. And he picked up, out of nowhere, he just ran up to this, like, 4 or 5 year old child, picked him up, and just chucked him over the barrier. And I think he did actually live, but even so, he had a big fall. And I've never gotten that squeezing out of my chest thinking about how that just happened so quickly. There's nothing that anyone could have done about it. The mum was probably standing right next to the little boy before that happened, and that you just don't know what someone's gonna do. That is terrifying. Like, literally terrifying. Someone could come up, touch wood, someone could come up and shank you in the street.
Yeah.
Like, they could, couldn't they? I could literally now, I'm not saying I would, clearly, just in case, you know, I get framed. But, like, I could literally now go into my kitchen, grab my big knife, go downstairs and stab the first person I see. And obviously I'm not going to do that, but it's very scary to think that that could happen. That you could be walking down the street and then that happens to you. So I think that's what this plays on. That's where the horror comes from in this, is you just don't know when it's coming, and you don't anticipate it.
Yeah, and, like, you know the bit with RJ, like, I even misremembered bits of this film, like, because she's clearly standing in front of the car with one of her arms behind her back, and I thought she had the pitchfork in her like, behind her back.
Yeah.
I didn't even realise it was just going to be a tiny kitchen knife, like, and not even like a knife, like a bread knife. It was just like a knife that you eat with, like a cutlery knife.
Yeah. I think that's the thing I like about it, to be honest, because it's not like, I can remember the first time I watched it, and afterwards just being like, I've never seen a film like that before. I've never seen anything like that before. And that's nice. It's not often you get that. That's a treat, that is. Do you not think that's a treat? Like, to be like,
yeah.
Okay, I've never seen a film like this before. That's new, and I like that. Yeah. I like it. But I did think that, so sorry, back to Jackson. I did think Jackson got a bit of a rubbishy, like, death. It was a bit meh. I'd forgotten how he died. I knew that he did die, obviously, but when I rewatched it, I couldn't remember how he died.
And it's a bit annoying because Jackson, up until the point where he sort of, because he's a little bit brusque, he's a little bit kind of like sort of in your face. He's happy to answer the front door, naked. He's done that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then the bit when he's looking for Pearl with the old timer Howard, as he calls him.
He's really kind, isn't he?
Yeah, you see a sensitive side to him, and like the bit where he's like he goes into the swamp because he thinks that the guy's bloody drowned, and then he comes back out only to get shot. It's like
thanks.
Yeah, but like that's out of nowhere as well. Like it just, even though he's got a gun, the fact that he shoots him out of nowhere is like there's nothing he could have done.
Especially because he's helping him. You'd think that he'd have a bit of a change of heart and go, oh, actually, this guy has, helped me out and come to help me find Pearl.
See, this is the thing. I can't read Howard. I can't read him. Like, I don't know whether or not...
He's unpredictable.
Yeah.
I still have... Actually, have I not told you about this? I have a recurring dream where I've killed a certain person and it's like always the same situation, even though it's like different dreams over the different years, and it's like an ongoing storyline, but it really scares me because sometimes I sit there and I'm kind of zoning out and I think, oh my god, I killed someone, and then I think, no, I didn't, that was a dream. Like, of course you haven't killed anyone, Jess, or have I?
Oh, dunno, and you've just admitted it on the podcast.
Oh shit, there you go. That's a good storyline, isn't it? The person that outed themselves. That's a good true crime story.
Yeah, it's alright. I'll edit it out. It's fine. I'll cover up your murder.
Oh, see, that's true friendship, guys. Get yourself a bestie who will do that for you. Can't go wrong. Oh, actually, I do want to talk about how I absolutely loved all the split screens.
Oh, yeah.
I loved all the how they were like comparing the sex scenes to what the old people were doing. Like they kept splitting it, and it was like ironic.
And then there was what was the bit? There was a bit where they were cutting from them arriving to the cattle, or the cattle. Basically, they were comparing the sort of like the heroes of the film to cattle, and it's like sort of like preempting what's gonna happen, them dying.
Oh, also, the first shot is one of my favourite shots in all of cinema. I think it is so clever how it starts off. You think, oh, we're watching like an old movie because it's like the ratio with the black on the sides.
Oh yeah.
And then it pans out through the barn door.
Yeah.
I love shit like that.
I really like the shot as well when they come out of the strip club.
Oh, with the big billboard thing. It's so good. I like me a bit of... I probably should watch more of Ti West's stuff. I like one more thing I think we should talk about before we rate is the whole Maxine being the daughter of the guy on TV. I love that. That was a good little twist. Like it's one of those twists that doesn't really impact the story, but it's a bit of a
Yeah, I liked it more when I watched it before I'd seen Maxine. Just that, because Maxine deals with it heavily, like the third film.
Oh, right, okay.
And I think it retroactively ruins it, because I liked it as it being a kind of like side thing, like she's a preacher's daughter and that sort of thing. A mystery.
Yeah. I really liked, though, the implication that just because you come from like a holy background doesn't mean that you won't slip into things that are like... What's the point? I'm not saying that porn is bad, but I'm saying that, like, if you are someone that's all pious and virtuous and all this, humble yourself, because anybody can, you can be raised in a very Christian or whatever household and still want to do other
And
things.
I liked that she used her dad's mantra as like her own, but in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I will not accept a life I do not deserve.
Yeah, so I think it's rated because I think X is considered quite a like modern classic now, like modern horror classic.
I mean, it spawned two sequels / prequels, whatever.
Yeah.
So it definitely has had success budget financially. I don't know that it's massively famous though. Like, I mean, I'm trying to think of an example. So like, if I was talking to my friends who hadn't seen a lot of, who weren't really into horror, they probably would have heard of things like Saw and Halloween and stuff like that. But I don't think that it's kind of quite into pop culture yet. I don't think my friends who aren't into horror, if I said X, they wouldn't necessarily know what I was talking about.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Yeah.
So like, I agree that in our circles,
Yeah.
it's rated.
Yeah.
Like, people really enjoy it, and they should enjoy it because it's really clever and it's really entertaining. You know, you don't get bored at any point, which is nice. Well, I don't anyway. But is it iconic in terms? Maybe with time it will be. It's certainly not overrated, I don't think, in any way.
No, it's just I agree with you actually. Like, I think it straddles the line between underrated and rated because like, if you think of A24, I do think of X, and I think of, what else has A24 done?
Hereditary.
Yes. Yeah.
Obsession.
And Midsummer.
Obsession's so good. Yeah.
So,
Have you seen Obsession yet?
no, I'm probably going to catch it when it goes on to streaming.
Oh, you must. You'll love it. I think it's one of your favourites. I mean, if you guys want to watch it. Anyway, yeah. Sorry. Well, I was gonna start planning our social life then on the podcast, so that everyone knows where we'll be at what time.
Yeah, so guys, we're just going to plan what we're doing.
On Friday, I'll be at the cinema at 6:30.
Yes. Okay then. So yeah,
Oh,
I think
dear.
it straddles the line, but listen, I'm happy to come to that consensus.
I like that you say straddles. I like that. It straddles. It straddles like a porn star.
It's kind of appropriate then, isn't
What do
it?
you like about it? It's very appropriate.
Yeah. So like,
All right, it's time to go. But what are we going to do next month, Mitchell?
all right. So I've written down for July we're doing Indiana Jones, but what one are we doing, Jess?
The original.
The original. So the first one. What is it? What's it called? I
Yeah.
forgot what it's called now.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Because I have never seen it. And I feel like it's a franchise that's very, very popular. So it must be really, really good. But I want to see if it is or if I think it is.
Ah.
Because I do love Harrison Ford. I did love Spielberg. So I think I probably will like it. But I'm interested to see what the plot is. And yeah. I want to raid the Lost Ark.
I was going to make a really inappropriate joke then, but I'm not going to.
Oh yeah. Do you want to raid my temple of Doom?
See, you said it.
On that note, get watching it, everyone. Is it on Netflix?
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, good point. You should probably tell them where we could watch it. So it's on the American Netflix.
Yeah. It's on American Netflix. It's on American Disney Plus.
Oh, good point. Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. Yeah.
It is on Amazon Prime. I think it's only on American Disney Plus though.
No, I'm pretty sure it's on the British one.
Get yourselves a VPN. Oh, is it really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on the British one. Yeah,
Cool.
because they own 20th Century
can
Fox, don't they
also-
now? They own everything, but
Yeah, but it'll be Universal, won't it?
No, 20th Century Fox, I think.
Really?
Well, they own Paramount now as well, so like they own all of them.
I think is it really not Universal? Because usually it's Universal for Spielberg. Have I gone mad? Hold on.
Let's look it up.
Hold on. Raiders, cast. No, I just want to see the production company.
Paramount. Oh, it's Paramount, yeah.
Really?
Do you know what
I
it
am
is?
shook.
It's Lucasfilm. It's on my Blu-ray set.
Oh, you're right. Yep. Paramount Pictures. Wow. Well, there you go. Look what my film degree did for me. All right, fair play. Yeah, okay then. Cool. Paramount. Although Paramount are a bit of a dirty word at the minute.
Yeah,
aren't they?
but you can find it on Disney Plus because
Lots
I'm
of
pretty sure
dodgy
you can
dealings.
because they own everything now.
Okay, great. That's brilliant. Good. Well, that is good news
Yeah.
for me. Okay, well, everybody get watching it, and we will see you next month for the next podcast.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
You've been listening to Reely Rated, a movie review podcast.
If you've enjoyed this episode, why not dive into our archives and catch up on the movie reviews you might have missed?
And have your say by sending your own thoughts and questions of the films you've discussed so far to reelyrated@gmail.com.
Until next time, film fans.
Keep it really rated.